Okay, so you should have finished this problem. Let's look at the next example. So now we actually have a monomial times a trinomial and a monomial times a binomial. Remember that trinomial means three pieces, monomial means one, and binomial means two. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and keep going through these examples on your note page. So we have 4x times x squared plus 4x plus 3. If you're using distributive properties, guys, you're just multiplying this for x each piece, okay? And I'm going to just go ahead and just do the box method. So, again, you're going to build this time a 1 by 3 box. Oh, I'm going to put 4x over here on the side. I'm going to put x squared here, 4x here, plus 3. All right, so now I'm multiplying. Remember that if it's nothing in front, it's understood 1. Remember that if you have a variable and there's nothing there, the exponent is 1 as well. So we're doing 4 times 1. Give me 4. And then I have x to the first times x to the second. This would be 1 plus 2. Okay. And then I have 4x times 4x. 4 times 4 is going to give me 16. Put a plus here. Okay, so we have plus 16. And remember, we have x. And in this case, we're going to do 1 plus 1. And then over here, we have 4 times 3, which will give me 12. It's going to be positive plus 12. And I have an x here, so I'm going to leave it as x. So just a sidebar, on the left-hand side, I'm going to write this in red. We had x to the 1 plus 2. We have x to the 1 plus 1. Okay? So on this first one, we'll actually get x to the third. And on the second one, we'll get x to the second power. Okay? So our final answer for this example will be 4x to the third power plus 16x squared plus 12x. Okay. All right. So that's monomial times trinomial. Let's take a look at monomial times a binomial. I'll change colors. Let's do purple this time. Again, I'm going to go ahead and do the box method, but you can use distributive properties. Either way, it's fine. If I can get a straight box. Erase. Let's try this one more time. So I need a 1 by 2 box. Okay. So this is 8x over here. And then we have 7x to the 4th plus 1. All right. So I'm doing 8 times 7. And again, guys, you are free to use a calculator if you are unsure about the multiplication facts. So 8 times 7 give me 56. Remember that we have exponents. So if it's nothing here and I have an x, it's going to be to the first power. So I got x to the first plus x to the 4th, which is equal x to the 5th. Okay. So this would be x to the 5th. And then finally, I have 8x times 1, which would be plus 8x. All right. So this is my final answer. 56x to the 5th plus 8x. That's a 5. So pause the video at this time to fill this in to your notes and make sure that you pay attention to the exponent rules because that's the most important thing. But you guys should have been practicing it. So make sure you pay attention to these exponent rules. You can write that on the side of your note page if you need to, but that's how we get these exponents. Okay, so this first one, actually copy this down, and here's the next example. All right, here is the last set of examples, guys. Again, I'm gonna go ahead and do the box method, but you can use distributive properties, which is using the arrows to distribute to each piece, or you can build a box. So I'm actually gonna write it over here so I'll have space on the slide. Do a 1 by 3 box. Okay, I'm gonna put negative 5. I needed a little room. Okay, negative 5x to the third power. Okay. And then I had 3x squared minus x plus 2. All right. So remember, I'm going to go ahead and fill in my exponents if they blank. So this is x to the first. I'm multiplying. So negative 5 times 3 is going to give me a negative 15. Okay. My exponents, I have x to the third plus x to the second. Okay. So this is actually x to the fifth. Then I have negative 5. Remember, if it's nothing in front of your coefficient, it's a 1. So negative 5 times a negative 1, because it's a negative here, it's going to give me a positive. So plus 1. And then I have x to the third times x to the first, which I'm adding the exponents. This is going to give me x to the fourth. So plus 1x to the fourth. And then finally, I have negative 5 times a positive 2. This will give me negative 10. And then it's just be x to the third. So that's my final answer. Negative 15 x to the fifth plus, you can either write 1x or just x to the fourth minus 10x to the third. Okay. And again, make sure that you copy down the exponent rule somewhere on your notes. Next example, and I'll go ahead and change the color. Let's do orange. All right, so this one, I have a monomial times a binomial. Okay. Again, I need a 1x2 box. If you want to use distributive properties, you are free to do so. We have 8x here, and we'll have 6x plus 6. I'm going to go ahead and write my exponents in here. We have to the first. We have to the first here. I'm going to go ahead and write this up here. X to the first plus x to the first is going to give me x to the second. Okay. So I have 8 times 6. That's going to give me 48. And then I have x to the second here. And then I have 8 times 6 again. This will be plus 48. And then don't forget the x here. So x. So that's my final answer. 48x squared plus 48x. And that is it, guys, for the notes. And again, make sure that you copy down the exponent rule somewhere in your notes if you can. To understand that, remember, anytime we multiply polynomials, you always add the exponents. Pause the videos this time to copy down the remaining parts of your notes. The classwork, guys, you have 2 assignments. You have a Pearson puzzle, which is the one I would prefer you to start with because we're only multiplying 2 monomials together. And then once you push through that, you're going to move to the next one, which is multiply a polynomial and a monomial worksheet. I already provided you with the answers. All I need you to do is show your work. So it doesn't matter about photo math because I gave you the answer. I need you to show your work, which is filling those boxes to show me the box method. And then finally, the closing for today will be to complete the opening closing sheet. And so if you have any additional questions, please feel free to ask me. If not, then you can send me a message or you can send me an email. Have a great day, guys. Bye.